Live like no one else so that you can one day live and give like no one else. That's a quote by Dave Ramsey, who's an influential speaker and financial advisor out of Tennessee. Basically, what that quote is saying is sacrifices are going to have to be made when trying to reach a goal, but in the end, it's going to be totally worth it. And this quote really sits close to my heart because it reminds me a lot of myself. So my story begins back junior year of high school when my theology teacher had us write down 3 separate goals: a 1-year goal, a 5-year goal, and a 10-year goal. My 1-year goal was to get a car. My 5-year goal was to graduate college debt-free, having paid for myself. And my 10-year goal was to have kids and be married, but that's still a work in progress. So my 5-year goal was the next step. I had accomplished my 1-year goal, and now I'll be graduating college. How am I going to achieve this goal? Well, sacrifices are going to have to be made, which is what Dave Ramsey has clearly stated in his quote. So this all started when my first year of college, I decided to go to community school. I decided to stay back home, live at home, work while I was there, and save an extra buck by going to the local community college. When all my friends were going to Notre Dame and UConn, it was definitely kind of hard. And I think the hardest part about it was having that mentality that right now I'm going to live like no one else is. I'm going to stay back and I'm not going to go to school like everyone else is. I'm going to stay home and I'm going to work because one day it won't be like that. I will be living like no one else. I'll have made my sacrifices now for the rewards in the long term. So I stayed home that first year and worked. And it wasn't easy. Just like all sacrifices, they're not easy. But actually, Hebrews 12:11 reminds us that no discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful. Later on, however, it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace for those who have been trained by it. So I kept that in mind as well, and I continue on through my schooling years, with other sacrifices being made. Some of those sacrifices include when everyone was going out getting smartphones, I carried around my iPhone 7, which is anything but a smartphone. Has a cracked screen, can't look up at the internet, but it does the basic needs of getting a call out or a text. Other sacrifices included, I don't have a new car. I drive a '98 Ford minivan that's purple. But these are all things that I'm keeping in mind as I repeat that quote to myself. Live like no one else, so that you'll one day live and give like no one else. So as schooling went on, my last year of school rolled around, and here I am today, 4 weeks away from my last payment, loan-free, debt-free, having paid entirely myself. How did I do it? The exact same way, by setting a goal and sticking to it and writing it down and living like no one else, so that I can one day live like no one else, be debt-free, start my life, because that was my goal. And I stuck to it and was inspired by it. And I kept it in mind as I continued on through school. So my challenge for you is to pick a goal that you've been working for or wanting to work for and write it down. A Harvard study's been done that people who write down their goals, significant difference in people who don't write down their goals in achieving those goals. So I want you to write down a goal, whether it's to travel to a different country, whether it's, getting a certain car that you wanted. Just write it down and stick it on your refrigerator. Or make a dream board about it. Take pictures that remind you of that goal and stick it wherever you'll see it every day. Now you're going to go to your friends' houses and you're not going to see that same thing. You're not going to see them having goals stuck, on their refrigerator, in their car, on their mirror. But that's okay, because you want to live like no one else. Be the person that sticks that goal in the refrigerator that you see every day. Be a little different than them, because one day you're going to live like no one else, and you're going to achieve that goal. Thank you.